Hello, hello, and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition. We are jumping back into Act 4, Scene 5, the Radvansky Center. I'm really upset about the fact that the last episode was as long as it ended up being. That's just the way it is. Act 4, Scene 5, the Radvansky Center. All right, perfect. Let's take a look here.
Wow, I haven't seen that poster in a while. I think that was mine from college. Yeah, definitely. Oh, right. Daryl swapped it out in the redesign. Now it's... What's there now? Yeah, it's... That's weird. I can't picture it. I mean, I can picture the wall, and there's definitely something hung there. That's gonna bug me. Want me to go look? It's just down the hall. No, it's okay.
Weird. It's scribbly, almost like the zero.
The modernist bookshelf with the fancy vintage turntable. So ostentatious. So Daryl. What? That was my bookshelf. Oh, no. But you, grew out of it or something, right? It ended up in the lab somehow. I keep my books in a pile now. It's easier to find what I'm looking for. Never, what shelf is that book on? Only, well, it's somewhere in the pile. Pragmatic.
So this reminds me a little bit of when we were in the Museum of Dwellings. You know, the people who were watching us were talking about what we were doing while we were doing it. What is this? Oh, okay. You want to write something?
This should be some basic information and the first control test. Subject's general disposition.
Jen looks over the questionnaire document from the envelope.
Why are you here?
It's a scheduled ferry stop, not my final destination.
Homesick. Demographic category.
What's the first thing you remember? Oh, that's weird. So the questions that they have in front of them are different from the ones I have in front of me? Or am I now having problems the same way that Conway did, where everything that's happening at the moment is bleeding into whatever my issues were? Because I remember she had a problem with the bird cage, so let's start there. I remember a bird cage.
Mid-20s. Do you think we should use the old categories or the new categories? Oh, right. Will the computer even still take the old ones? They're still in the menu. Okay, in that case, put in precarious. Sure. Oh, I forgot. Name? It says Marquez on the file. Whoa, Marquez? Are you sure? That's what it says. Do you know her? That can't be. No, that's not her. Did she come alone or with a group? I don't know. There's an extended monitoring tape here, too. We could check on the dock when she showed up.
Interesting. Why would they say it can't be me? Oh, cool. And now we get to look at this. All right, let's check this out.
No, definitely not. Oh, she's traveling with one of those creepy distillery guys. Him? Nah, he just looks like some old drifter. Maybe you're right. It's hard to tell in this light.
Wow, that's kind of interesting that she had Conway pegged for somebody from the distillery.
Oh, it's... Wait, who is that? That guy in the hoodie. What? I've never seen him before. Really? He looks so damn familiar. I thought maybe he was a former intern or something. He's a little old for that, right? No, I don't recognize him, sorry. You're all deja vu this morning. It's spooky. Sorry, just one of those days, I guess.
Conway does look a little bit creepy, the way he's just kind of standing in the shadows over there. All right, come on, Shannon, let's walk on out. I love how he runs.
Ha! I guess the old man is on dinghy guard duty. A noble assignment. So, who was this lady? Oh, right. Well, do you remember WEVP TV? No. Okay, it was a community television station. The Consolidated Power Company had to fund it as, a punishment for owning too much of the broadcast spectrum or something. Oh, they used to screen your videos, right? Yeah, it was like a co-op. I did some maintenance, and they gave me a slot to show my work. And they had that naked banjo guy late at night. Yeah, that's mainly what everyone remembers. I guess their whole mandate was community expression. He was certainly expressive. Oh, wait, was WEVP the one that... the flood, right? Yeah. Damn. So, Shannon Marquez, did she have a naked banjo show too? What? No. Let me guess.
Question. Which of the following sentences best describes you? I'm haunted, unable to forget.
She had an exercise show? No, I've never heard of Shannon Marquez. It was Weaver Marquez I knew. She worked at the station for a bit, and then she left on kind of weird terms, actually. Anyway, where were we?
Okay, yeah, that was bothering me, actually, that sound. I was starting to feel pretty creeped out between the noise and them talking about a mysterious flood, Weaver leaving in mysterious circumstances, and then Conway just kind of being there in the corner. All very creepy. This is the horror episode, I guess, of Kentucky Route Zero.
Okay, how do we rank her from the control test?
Question. Without turning around to look, please describe the following objects. Bookshelf. Oh, it had 3. I don't remember. It's nondescript. Well, it doesn't remind me of a museum, but this section reminded me of the Museum of Dwellings, so maybe I'll say that. It reminds me of a museum. The poster. Okay, the poster I looked at, the first one, I remember that it had like a lot of scribbly circles or something. I have a poster in my workshop, a vintage advertisement for vacuum tubes, a chart of resistor values. Let's just say I don't keep posters on my walls. She definitely had something, because I remember when we first went to go visit her as Conway, we had to keep reading what was on the wall before I could get into her workshop. And I'm pretty sure there was an ad, but neither of these sounds like it, so I'll just say I don't keep posters on my walls. Lighting. Just kind of dim.
Average, I guess. Average, okay.
Weird. Okay. Let's take a look around. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of like an apple and this looks kind of like a pear.
How many pictures did she remember? 2 or actually maybe 3. What? She wrote down orange, strawberry, guava. Guava? I think she meant the pear. See, that's why I hate this test. There's so much fruit that basically looks like other fruit. Oh, guava. Does a guava even look like a pear, though? I don't think I've ever seen a guava. I thought they were pink. They're just pink on the inside. You wouldn't confuse a real guava for a real pear, but in one of Daryl's crude watercolors. But I can still clearly tell that's a pear, even on video.
Yeah, I could tell that was a pear, and I can barely see the shit.
Yeah, you and I can, but we already know it's a pear. She could be remembering wrong, or just identifying what, to her, is a much more likely fruit to appear in a painting, based on any number of cultural, social, geographic, you know? She didn't say anything in her response to help clarify? Let's see.
Question. Please describe in detail any sensations that accompany your memory of the pictures. It makes me think of being a kid. My mother gave me some mushed up guava once to cure a toothache.
Not really, just some sensory memories of guava. I guess we should just skip the pictures. That's a shame. It's really hard to measure memory degradation in some of the later tests without this one as a baseline location updating scenario. I've been saying we should just use photographs. Watercolor paintings already have the quality of a half-remembered dream anyway. Like they're inviting you to forget them, or somebody else already forgot them for you. Like a mama bird feeding her chicks cotton candy. Photographs are... well, it's not that they're really more accurate or true, but we think they are. They put you in that mindset. They have authority. So, yeah, out with the watercolors, I say. But then poor Daryl would have nowhere to exhibit his work.
Jen makes a noise. Her frumph. This is bizarre. Hey, it's a juicy cat.
Jen, look who it is. Aw, I miss that kitty. I forget what became of the white one. Her name was Coconut, and she disappeared without a trace. Easy come, easy go. I wouldn't say easy. I had to leave food on the dock for a week before she'd come inside. She only stuck around for a month or two. You probably saw quite a lot of her. I remember you were working nights then. She was a nocturnal creature. That's right, I remember.
What am I touching there? I want to go see the cat first. Hey, meow to you too. What's up, buddy? I like Shannon's little switch of her hips. Look at her like show, ba don't do. Shannon, don't ba don't do. All right, shut up, cat. I'm gonna do something over here. Oh, did I take something? What is that? Is that a knife? Am I about to shank this cat? Can I go left? No. Here, cat, I'm gonna assume that's food that I'm giving you. Okay.
Wait, I don't remember this test. Oh. Did we cut this one? What's the questionnaire like? No, this is just... sometimes if I can't make it in for a few days, I might leave a note to feed the cats. For the test subjects? Wow, how do you know they'll do it? I write it on, university letterhead? Jen, that is unethical. At least I don't use university property and research equipment to make weird video art. Very well then, I contradict myself. I wonder which is the nobler transgression. I'll settle that question. It's nobler to feed kitties.
So the Radvansky Center is like something to do with the university then? All right, let's go. This game is just so beautifully bizarre. What am I listening to?
Oh, okay. This is before the CD players. I hope she remembered to rewind. They never did. And Daryl would be in all night, rolling all these tapes back, one by one, in his little Walkman. He still has that thing. He says he uses it at the gym, but I think he's just too attached to his old mixtapes. He is so sentimental, our Daryl. These tapes had sounds from my apartment building. Did you know that? Oh? I thought it was stock sound effects from the library. Yeah, the CDs are. But when it was on tape, Daryl had me borrow a tape recorder from the music department and go collect them myself.
Wait a minute, Mimi, Jen, and Daryl? Hold on a second, because I feel like the other characters that are in the game, we haven't seen them for a while, and now I don't remember if that was their names. Whatever. Anyway.
He showed me a first draft of the questionnaire. I think some of them are still in there, like...
What were you thinking about immediately before listening to the tape? I was thinking about my cousin. After the tape ended, how quickly did your thoughts return to that subject? I never really stopped thinking about it.
Right. I don't really get the point of that question. I think it's just there to set a baseline for the introspection index. So all the doors opening and closing, those are all from your apartment? Most of them, yeah. Others were from the basement. We have these rows of storage closets down there. None of them are locked or anything. It's just like this weird row of doors. They're not even marked or differentiated. You have to keep count as you go and remember which one is yours. Mine is number 8. I went down there a little tipsy once. Sunday cleaning, you know, a few glasses of wine. Anyway, I accidentally opened number 9, and it was full of mice. Like, for a computer, I mean. They were all neatly arranged on shelves, organized by some inscrutable quality, cables tied with Velcro. The neighborhood mouse hoarder. A collector, I think. I guess he lived next door. I told Daryl we should add a question. Something like...
While listening to the tape recordings of doors opening, if at any point you have any expectation or visualization about what might be on the other side of one of those doors, please write it down. The last door, it sounded like a kitchen door.
I was just curious, I guess, since it was from my building. Like, I have a strong sense of where these doors lead just by hearing them, but is that just from my memory, or is it inherent in the sound somewhere? Interesting. You should write a grant proposal. Oh, I wouldn't want to step on any toes. You know, university politics. Oh, here's another extended monitoring tape from the waiting room. Busy night. There he is again, sleeping. Where do I know him from? It's gonna drive me up the wall. Does he work at the university? Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think he might have worked there a long time ago, maybe when I was an undergrad. Ah, the Paleolithic. I thought he looked a bit rugged. That's right, Jen. I went to college during the Stone Age. What was your major? Fire.
That's actually kind of funny.
I don't think he was a professor, maybe staff. It's been so long. Sometimes I wish I'd just barrel through, like you did, instead of taking time off before grad school. I'm sure it was the right thing to do at the time. Yeah, or the only thing. I was such a mess. Did I ever tell you about that? My boyfriend died suddenly in my last year of college. Oh, poor thing. It's okay. It was a long time ago. But yeah, it really shook me up back then. He was studying astronomy. We were both really into experimental music. We took a few art classes together. That's so sad. Sorry, never mind. No, it's okay. That's the thing, actually. I mean, that's what shook me up about it. It was just this random accident that never should have happened, and so sudden you never could have seen it coming. He was back home, visiting his parents.
Oh my God, I knew it before she said it, and he fell off a roof. Her boyfriend was, Lizette's son. What was his name? Charlie? Oh man, shit.
Damn, I know what you mean. You can't predict that kind of, what do you call it? Freak accident kind of thing. My psychiatrist says that's why I'm such a pessimist. Well, I think you're remarkably upbeat, all things considered. I mean, you know, that thing with your boyfriend and the roof, but also what happened to the TV station. Acts of God. You think? No, I mean, that's what you call it. That's what you say when it's nobody's fault.
That's interesting that she would put it that way, you know, because normally people don't just say acts of God because something wasn't your fault. They say acts of God because it was an act of nature, like a flood or a hurricane, something like that. Those are the kinds of things people call acts of God. But they wouldn't call somebody falling off a roof an act of God unless, you know, it was somebody they really hated and they were just kind of saying it offhandedly. But that's not what the phrase means. So it's interesting that she defined it that way, you know, that it's what you say when it's nobody's fault. Anyway.
I don't think I believe in that. What? Acts of God. Yeah, but there has to be a word for when something completely shitty happens for no reason, right? I guess it's kind of archaic.
Okay, so yeah, that's why she put it that way. Okay, I get it. Jen flips through the questionnaire. First, please use the blank space below to describe your general feelings about television. If you have difficulty summarizing your emotions succinctly or have too many different feelings to fit in a blank space, you may also use the back of this paper. I'm going to say I have mixed feelings about television considering that I keep seeing my missing cousin in them. You were asked to watch several videos. How many of the videos did you watch? All of them.
Speaking of the TV station, you were saying something earlier about that Marquez girl? Oh, right. I was talking about Weaver. Yeah, what exactly happened with her? You said she left on weird terms? Yes. Well, actually, she just stopped showing up. That was pretty normal. It was all volunteers, right? Community television? Yeah, people didn't really give much advance notice. They just got bored and drifted away. It was more like an art project than a job for most people. Weaver Marquez helped manage the archives, like filing and sorting old tapes of broadcasts. I think she was pretty smart. She probably could have been more help fixing equipment or something, but she seemed content just to organize tapes. Nobody ever talked to her much, so when she left, no big deal. But then, a couple months later, we started getting these bizarre interventions.
Okay. Can I walk now? Yes. Let's look at this one. The camera focused on a table passed through a doorway, then focused on another table. Which object present on the first table was also present on the second table? Sorry, I kind of spaced out on that slow pan through the door. I didn't even notice the tables.
Someone would be doing a show in their normal time slot, and then suddenly the feed would cut. We'd still be broadcasting, but our signal was totally jammed. Oh, like interference? I mean, total blackout. Then this video would come on, clearly shot in our studio at some point, and it was her, Weaver Marquez. She'd be standing in the middle of the studio, facing the camera.
Oh, this is getting even more and more bizarre. I really do hope we find out what the hell is going on with Weaver. And yes, I'm going to look at every single one of these damn televisions because I love this game that much. At the beginning of the video, you were asked to make note of a memory from earlier in the day and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which of the objects did you choose? The folded map. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? Not the same one, but another one sort of like it.
It's a bit fuzzy in my memory, but I do remember the sound. This awful hum, like that was how she did it. She made a hum so sinister it drove our signal into hiding.
Ooh. Okay. Let's try this one. You were asked to make a note of a fond memory from childhood and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which object did you choose? The empty bottle. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? I forget. I don't think so.
Then there were these on-screen captions, exactly the same every time. I can't remember what they said. Something creepy. Wow.
I also don't remember what they said, but I have it in my notes. Question. The video began in one room and passed through a doorway into another room. In each room, a piece of music was playing. Was it the same piece of music in both rooms? No, they were different. Was the music in the first room optimistic or pessimistic? It sounded kind of pessimistic. Was the music in the second room optimistic or pessimistic? I think it was optimistic.
We had a title maker at the station, but it was a different font. I guess she recorded it at WEVP and then took it somewhere else to add the captions? I don't know. We all did a lot of speculating about how she made the video. Why she made the video. Yeah, why not just broadcast it normally? It was community television, right? Couldn't be any worse than a naked banjo guy. Yeah, exactly. Some people thought it was a protest or something, but I know she didn't have anything against the station. To me, it felt kind of urgent, like she would have done her broadcast through the proper channels, but something came up. A crisis or something.
Interesting. I think after this, just in my own time, I'm going to go back through my notes to kind of refresh myself with what she was saying in it. Question. The video began with footage of the outside of a building and then entered the building. Was it day or night outside? It was night. When the camera exited the building again, was it day or night outside? It was day.
How often did it happen? A lot. Dozens of times. It went on for years. We even thought about asking the police to look into it, but it's so hard to locate a pirate signal. I mean, it could come from any direction, you know? It's all just...
What the hell?
Exactly.
And the last TV. God, I just love how everything in this game snakes back around, especially because, like I mentioned at the start of the series, this originally released in an episodic format. So this edition that I have just has all of the episodes, like the entire game combined. But to think about the fact that each episode was its own thing, and then as it released, no matter how much time may have passed, and no matter how different all of them are, they all still feel cohesive. And yet I also feel like I'm getting more out of it now, because with everything being back to back, I get a better sense for like the through line of the story and like the themes. I don't know. Anyway, hold on. I'm going to go drink my seltzer. Question. The camera passed through several doors with inscribed labels. Please write down the sounds you heard as the video passed through the doors with the following inscriptions. Travel. Wings beating, because that reminds me of the big bird that was helping us travel around. Nourishment. A sort of clink like coins falling into a cup. Sleep. A diesel engine idling.
Weaver's video showed up again right before the flood. Actually, I think it might have been the last thing we ever broadcast.
Huh. Okay. Over to the table. Writing things down.
Okay, location updating effect on emotional memory. These results are kind of confusing, actually. She's either very hurried or just not taking it seriously. This test reminds me of one of your videos, Mimi. Depressed, but kind of hurried. A portrait of sorrow. So, yielded no new information? That's all that needs saying, I think. Damn, this is taking a while. Daryl will be heartbroken if this is the only box we get through today. The poor thing. He is like a paper butterfly. I would say a moth.
So the interesting thing about this is that, like, she already has a file there with her name on it, and she just said no new information, which means that they already had information, you know, from a prior test. That's kind of bizarre. All right, let's go right to see what that is.
Oh, look, can you read the date? Damn, I can't read it either. It may not have even been current. I remember for a while we had a calendar up that was like years behind. I think Daryl liked the picture. What was it? Best friends. Every month there was a different pair of animals that were friends. That's adorable. I think I'm going to be sick. You don't remember that? That weird intern brought it in from home. What was his name? Who? Oh, you remember. He was always like... I mean, we would make fun of him for... Damn, he's almost completely gone from my brain. So many interns coming and going then. I guess I didn't bother even remembering their names. Wonder who was working back when this was recorded. Is there a tape of the monitoring room? Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, before we check that out, did she flip the calendar forward or backward?
Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, because it had left and right, so I thought she was going to move to the right, but instead she flipped the calendar.
Forward. Oh, weird. They usually flip it backwards.
That's cool, because we would normally flip it backwards if you were pushing left to go towards the desk. But of course, I'm a weirdo, so I chose right to go towards the nothingness in the corner. Anyway, is this the monitoring room?
There she goes. Wait, do you think... Did she follow them out? Oh, well, here's the last extended monitoring tape from the dock when they left.
Oh, let's see who was monitoring. This might be interesting. Oh, God, it's Distillery. I don't know why I'm so creeped out by them.
See? Told you he was one of those distillery guys. I guess you were right. Those other guys came to pick him up for work, maybe? I don't like how they all hang out together. It's creepy. We hang out together and work together. Yeah, but it's not... I mean, they're like more than coworkers. I don't know. I just get this awful feeling whenever I see them. Like I knew them once, but not anymore. Like when they make up a dead person to look like an old photograph of themselves. Sort of familiar, sort of strange. Yeah, exactly. There ought to be a word for that.
I think there is a word for that. I didn't like that, though, how they were all just there.
Bye, Kitty. They look like nice enough people. I'm sure she's very happy with them. Yeah. So, this has been a bit of a memory trip for you, huh? I bet you didn't expect these old tapes to stir up so much. How does it feel for these people to come up again? Weaver, Marquez, and Wise Will, I mean. And what was your boyfriend's name? The one who died in college?
Charlie. Oh, hell yeah. I remembered his name.
Charlie, yeah. It's kind of a bittersweet experience, actually. Like looking at photographs of people who died or moved away. You know, people that are gone. Gone, but not forgotten. No, not forgotten. You're right.
That's creepy because who knows how far into the future like this is happening. Oh man, I'm actually going to end the episode because knowing this game, if I keep going, it'll be like 4,000 years. So let's just find a good spot, probably wherever the boat lands next. Look at those easels and tables on the beach over there. They call that an open-air gallery, or probably something more upscale like al fresco galleria. They say it's a popular design in foreign cities like Paris and New York. That may be true. The appeal is clear enough, I guess. Anyone can wander in and out. There aren't any walls or doors. There's no roof either, just a kind of thin cloth membrane. Not quite a sheet or a tarp, but more like a drape of rolled out spiderweb, looking like it might bunch up and dissolve if it ever got rained on. No concern down here for rain. Everybody thinks they're inside just because they can't see the sky. But it's a microclimate down here, and it surely does rain. Right now, they're exhibiting some intimate photographs of small town life. There's one of a small girl playing in a puddle. She's got her back to the camera and she's fussing with something, looking at her hands. Maybe she's stuffing a message in a bottle or folding a paper boat. Reviews have been good. It's a popular show, probably because of its relevance. The town depicted in these photos was very recently flattened to make way for a big museum project. I'm assuming that they're talking about the Museum of Dwellings, because I vaguely recall them saying that it was being built on like construction that had been taken down. Anyway, let's see. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. I'm gonna do that so we can get out of the boat. Act 4, Scene 6. A grove. Ah, perfect. Oh, I hear us walking. I figured I'd do this so we can get out of the boat for a while, and then I can, stop whenever we get to where we get in. I love Kate. I like the fact that, these characters, they're so small and they're not that detailed, and yet you can see so much character and identity in each one of them. Anyway, let's, I guess, do... okay, I'm gonna read this first, then I'm gonna exit to save, because that way, if when I come back in, it actually does jump ahead in the next episode, at least we will have, seen what this said. So, let's do this. She lit a second cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under a heavy coat. It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of hospital entrance. So she stood by a hot dog cart parked at the edge of the sidewalk. Kate gently rolls a fallen branch and plucks something white from the underside. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. Plurosibella porogens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't that pleasant? They have a delicate, springy texture, and they're tasty, like sweet moss. Would you like a bite? Sweet moss doesn't sound very tasty to me. Personally, I like to be able to tell where my food came from, by flavor alone. I like to taste my surroundings, It keeps me connected to the whole thing. My mushroom hunting mentor told me, it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. She taps the cover of the small red book she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. Kate points to a small mushroom growing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important one to recognize, though. Look, see the sort of greenish pallor on the cap? Amanita phalloides. That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom, and phalloides means... never mind. Does it mean dick? Because it looks like that means dick. Can you eat it? Only once. It's deadly poisonous. All right. Deathcap, that's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's a revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Great. Look for... Actually, just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in this bag. Let me know when you're done and we'll see what you've got. Okay, perfect. So, I am going to stop this here because this is going to be half experiment and half also I just want to end the episode. But this will tell me once and for all, if I exit the game in the middle of a scene or in the middle of dialogue like this, Will it remember it, or is it going to land me somewhere else? We will see, but man, I don't know. Like, now I feel like we're getting to see a little bit of Kate's story, because Kate, I believe in the, was it the last episode maybe, where we all got off and had a phone call? I think she was the one who was talking to her mother or whoever that was, and they were talking about how her dad or her uncle, somebody is in the hospital and they don't want to see anybody. So now I'm thinking that the stuff on the left is a description of her visiting that uncle or visiting that man, and we're going to see that play out alongside whatever's going on the right, like us hunting with mushrooms with Ezra. I'm looking forward to that because I feel like I legitimately care about every single one of these side characters, even before they get more fleshed out, because they're introduced in really intriguing ways, because it seems like everybody here has something going on, and I love it and I want to see more of it. And if you want to see more of it, then you know what I'm going to say. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Support me on Patreon at the $1 tier or higher. I could definitely use it now. And I'll be back very soon with another episode of Kentucky Route Zero.